going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another MLB 15 The Show Diamond Dynasty gameplay. It's also time for another edition of This Week in Major League Baseball, our weekly series here on YouTube, where we talk about everything going on in the majors over some Diamond Dynasty gameplay. Let's talk about the All-Star break. It was fantastic. We'll start things out by talking about the Home Run Derby, which is just absolutely amazing, man. If you did not watch that live, then you certainly missed out. I didn't know, and I think a lot of people didn't know how that new format was going to play out with the timed rounds and the brackets, which I think the brackets were a great idea. The timed rounds I was worried about. I didn't know what to expect, but it was perfect. If you didn't know, Todd Frazier, the hometown guy from the Cincinnati Reds, won the Home Run Derby basically in overtime against a young hitter from the LA Dodgers, Jock Peterson. I actually predicted that finals matchup and predicted Todd Frazier to win it in last week's episode of This Week in Baseball. And so I was right on the money there. I predicted a Jock Peterson versus Todd Frazier final with Frazier winning it all. I am not part of the Illuminati, I promise you. I just took a wild guess and ended up being right. But it was, again, man, I can't say it enough. It was fantastic. People on Twitter were going crazy. There were buzzer beater home runs, just great emotion in it. It was just great, man. People that I don't ever see talking about baseball on Twitter were into it and watching it. And there's no doubt that they're going to have to keep this format with the timed rounds and the brackets. And it was just a win for baseball, man. It was a win for baseball. A lot of young guys, Manny Machado, Jock Peterson, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo. Just a lot of young guys, man, who were participating and just kind of bringing youth in to the game. And another really cool stat about it, there were 159 home runs hit in this year's Home Run Derby. That is 51 more home runs than any other Home Run Derby in the history of Home Run Derby. So everybody watches it because they want to see the ball fly out of the park, and it happened a bunch and way more often than it ever has. So no shocker there that we get a new commissioner, and he switches things up, and it comes out to be good for the game. I did see a little blurb, a little tweet that the new commissioner, may entertain expansion for Major League Baseball. How do you guys feel about that? Would you like to see 2 or 3 or 4 new teams added in to the Major League Baseball? I don't think so. I think it's good where it is. I mean, you know, it's going to get more guys employed, more revenue for whatever cities would be able to get those teams. So I'm all for it if it happens, but you know, if it was up to me, I'd probably say no. Let's talk about the All-Star Game. The AL won 6-3. Mike Trout was the MVP. Back-to-back MVPs in the All-Star Game for Mike Trout. Just another young, fantastic, great player. And speaking of Trout, and I'll just go real quick back to the Home Run Derby. With the success that it had this year, there is no doubt in my mind that next year, Gincarlo, Stanton, if he's healthy, will be in it. Mike Trout, Bryce Harper. So just imagine how much better it could be with those 3 guys in the Home Run Derby. But Trout, just fantastic, man. Can't say enough good things about him. He gets it. He plays the game the way it's supposed to be played, and he plays it very, very well. He leads the thing off with a home run to give the AL a 1-0 lead, and they would pretty much never look back. Andrew McCutchen was able to hit a home run for the National League that, from what I remember, made the game a little interesting, but then Brian Dozier came back and hit a home run. Zach Greinke, Clayton Kershaw, both giving up runs. It's almost like they know that they're going to flop in the postseason like they always do, so who cares about the All-Star Game? I'm just making jokes here, but yeah, it was pretty funny to see that the Dodgers pitchers gave up the majority of the runs in a game that has postseason implications where the Dodgers usually fail in postseason situations. So I thought that was funny. So again, man, a very successful All-Star break in my opinion. I enjoyed both nights. Home Run Derby, All-Star Game, and it was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to interact with some of you guys on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, be sure to do so. @name is @II Mike. That's the letter I 4 times, and then my name, Mike. Look at Robinson Cano going yard right there. This is a very, very intense game. So let's quickly talk about the second half of the season and what I'm looking forward to seeing. There's some really good divisional races. The NL Central, we all thought maybe, well, I don't want to say we all thought, I'm speaking for myself, but it felt like the Cardinals might run away with that division. They had such a big lead, but they kind of stumbled in June and early July, and believe it or not, they are only 2 games up, I believe, up on the Pittsburgh Pirates, who finished the first half of the season going 8-2, and just playing really, really good baseball. It'll be interesting to see if they can keep it up. They're getting great pitching from A.J. Burnett, who was an all-star, Garrett Cole, another all-star. So I don't know, man. The Pittsburgh Pirates for the last couple of years, you can just never count them out, and it looks like between them and the Cardinals, this thing could come down to the end maybe. I don't know. It's going to be an exciting second half. In the NL East, I still think that's going to be a 5-team race. I think any team in that division has a chance at winning it. Now, who knows what teams might unload players when the trade deadline approaches. I could see, you know, the Blue Jays possibly or the Rays doing that. But don't count out the Red Sox. Don't count out the Yankees. Don't count out the Orioles and obviously the other 2 teams. And then the AL West. The Astros have been dominating that division pretty much all season, but they stumble into the All-Star break, losing 6 straight, only winning 2 out of their last 10, where the Angels win 7 out of their last 10, and now we're a half a game up in the AL West. I think the Angels might be able to do it. That's going to be another fun run to watch if Mike Trout and Albert Pujols keep playing the way that they're playing. Watch out for the Angels. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm out. Peace.